It's Week 17 of the NFL, and we've got C.D. Lamb. No one's been busier this season as he currently paces the NFL in receptions. It's the Cowboys and the Panthers on Thursday night.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Tonight, hard to believe, our final Thursday night game of the year, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. At a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
Come on, come on. Hey.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Stroud. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. You look at this Carolina defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Stroud on 3rd down now. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 25-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Stroud now on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, what was he thinking there? It's easily intercepted. And the Panthers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And a peek at the man under center. He has 5 full years in the league under his belt, now in year number 6.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm time when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
That throw by Young incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Just the first quarter of tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I missed him, it would have been a long night.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. You look at this Carolina defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend to the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that in the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Stroud. And that is incomplete.
I like those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. And Stroud now to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So the 4th down conversion sets him up with this. 1st and 10 at the 40. Stroud sets up the play action. Got it complete to Khalil Shakir. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Stroud to throw it. Touchdown, Cowboys! CeeDee Lamb, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later, hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
From the 25, here's second down and 7.
Opposite, green, yellow, lining.
Throwing, Young. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A first down throw for Young. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Check white. Black swap. Smith red.
Young off the play fake. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Check pink.
To the air once more, Young. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man incomplete. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Young. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Young's throw complete there to Moore. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes CeeDee Lamb and the rest of the Dallas offense. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays, so let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Pollard going to try the right side. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's 3rd and 7. Now Stroud. That is caught. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Stroud looking to throw. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Pollard will take it up the gut. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Okay, ready?
Play action. Here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown! From 13 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a 1st down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the 1st down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Here we go.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Young.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
On third down, here's Mitchell. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Taken in at the 11. Accelerating, and off he goes. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers. He brings out this offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
First and 10, it's Stroud.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Throwing now is Stroud.
Touchdown, Cowboys! A great effort there as the first half is winding down.
And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Aubrey now for the point after.
And it's 21-3. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Panther offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Good game to follow in the late afternoon window as well. One being in Atlanta, where it'll be the Falcons taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And finally, Sunday Night Football. They've got a good one lined up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Panthers going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now here's Young. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. Inside the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Aubrey now for the PAT. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
Here we go.
Young now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Young to throw it. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Taken in at the 22. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going. Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Panthers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 8.
It's Young off play action. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. But they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves. A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Stroud now on 2nd down. And his ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas.
A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Cowboys have opened the lead up to 30. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Aubrey now for the point after.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Carolina getting set to take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Ready, ready.
To throw on second down is Young. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Wide open receiver complete.
And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously, a lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard because that doesn't help them at all.
There he goes, left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And they really need to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell.
And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Check white. Ready?
On second down, here's Mitchell.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Meanwhile, Young's throw taken in here by Jackson.
Number 86, 16 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Touchdown, Panthers. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Panthers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bulling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 57 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
At the 28-yard line.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches.
Panther 11, Panther 11.
Stroud to throw it. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Reload. Ready.
On second down, it's Pollard. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first and goal.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Stroud. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Second and goal from the 1. And Stroud now to throw. Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches. Touchdown! Tony Pollard from a yard out. And the Cowboys are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Panthers 10.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
Come on, set.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here is Young. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Black swap. Smith red. Check pink.
And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. Down the sideline he goes. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. 116 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
And the Cowboys first down.
Ready.
On first down, here's Stroud. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Trap 60, trap 60.
Stroud on 3rd down now. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And his kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
This taken in right around the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Young looks to throw on first down. Out of his hands quick to Jackson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 7 yards there and a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
Ready.
One last shot for Young. It's Jackson again on the reception. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Dallas, they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They move to 16-0 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they lose an important one as they fall to 9-7 with 1 game remaining. And they will look to turn it around next time out. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.